last race of the first half of the regular season for Season 3 of the NNSCRA Coors Light Truck Series. Good afternoon, everybody, as we get ready for race number 5 here. It's our first dirt track stop for the trucks here at the Springfield Mile, and this will set these drivers up heading into the part of the season we dub the chase towards the chase for the championship. It'll be the 5 regular season races that will basically determine who will be the 8 competitors that will battle for the championship later on this year. So far, we've had 4 races, 4 different race winners. So at this point in time, with those 4 different winners currently running in the top 13 in points, 50% of our playoff grid is currently filled up with race winners. And as I've said all season long, this is the one series in particular where it is so congested into drivers fighting for very limited available spots in the battle for the championship. So if we have a 5th different driver go to victory lane here today, I mean, you know, heading into the playoffs, it's almost looking like we have a possibility of 2 race winners this season missing out on making the playoffs. But starting on the front row for today's race is going to be A Garcia in the 51. Now, the last time we saw the Coors Light Truck Series race at a dirt track, it was back last year in the heat races at DuQuoin, and Garcia was one of those heat race winners. The other winner, his teammate Tony Green, both those drivers in this field today. So not a surprise to see the 51 was fast here at this dirt track as he sits on the pole alongside of Henry Williams, who was looking to become the first 2-time winner this season after taking the checkers back at Arizona Speedway. Time to go down trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports as we get ready to go dirt track racing.
Drivers, start your engines!
30 laps on tap here today, and as the Chevy Silverado Pace truck will lead the field around this mile dirt speedway, we will give you your top 10, the point standings coming into today's race, presented to you by Blame Shelley Insurance. Now, after his win at Kentucky a couple of weeks ago, actually it was last week, J.J. Roberts is now the new points leader, 4 points in hand over Fury Gamington, who is second, 5 points over third in the standings, former points leader Andrew Rich. And fourth in the standings is Hillary Sanchez. She's only 8 points out of the points lead. Tony Green, former winner, as I mentioned, at the dirt track in DuQuoin last year. He is 5th in the points, 14 points back. And then the rest of the top 10 in points are Bobby Fraser, Henry Williams, Alex Tanker, a couple of former winners from this season. Williams winning at Arizona, Tanker at Atlanta. Charlie Buxton is 9th in the points, and Jake Moss currently completes the top 10. Now, 3 of our 4 former race winners are there in the top 10, as we mentioned. The only one that's missing, Andrew Miller, our winner from Daytona. He's 13th in points, so right now, all 4 of our former race winners this season would have spots in this season's playoffs, the chase for the championship. But it's time to go racing for 30 laps here at Springfield. Let the dirt and dust fly. We are racing at the Springfield Mile. Let's roll. Garcia drives it deep into the corner, slips up. Now it's going to be 3 wide. That's Gatlin Downey in the middle, Elijah Gordon down in the bottom, and here comes J Galloway in the 11 looking for the spot as well. He thought about 4 wide as Downey will take the spot for the moment coming off of 4. Gordon battles back again. Here comes Galloway in the bottom as well. 3 wide now, double wide. Who leads the first lap? It'll be the 11 by a nose. And the caution flag is out already. Well, when they started going 3 wide for the lead, you had to think that somehow, someway, they were going to be leaning on each other further back in the pack. And not very long until we have our first yellow flag waving here. Well, certainly looking like grip is at an all-time low at this racetrack, as very few drivers had a lot of luck getting their car to, or their truck in this case, to stay down there on the bottom of the racetrack. But Jake Galloway certainly did, and moved up several spots there in those first 2 laps to lead the way here under our first caution. Let's see who might have been involved to bring out this yellow, and got a couple of trucks back here. I see one with damage. That's Colin Lindsay, the 21. Got some left side damage there, which I don't think any driver's not going to have when this day is over. A little bit of a tire mark there as well on the 0 of that 90 of Z Winkle. So these 2 might have gotten a piece of something. Then again, you never know. Andrew Rich is 3rd in the points his way back here, but he doesn't appear to have any visible damage, at least not on the left side. We can't see the right side. So as we're on the caution for the first time here today at Springfield, let's go back and see what happened. Andrew Rich started this race from around the 20th position, and so this was about mid-pack, I would say. The inside of Easton Barber. Let's see if the 00 and the 54 make contact. Okay, they're coming on the inside. There's the 85 of Jake Moss. And it looks like he might have just gotten into the left rear quarter panel of Andrew Rich. Rich backs it into the wall. And yeah, there were a couple of other drivers back there involved, including the 47 of Fury Gamington, second in points. Nathan Stapleton turned around there, I think off the nose of Jesse Turner. There's where Zach Winkle gets some damage, as does Colin Lindsay. Lindsay actually gets put up into the wall by Andrew Miller in the 23. Fury Gamington, I think, got through relatively unscathed, just got hooked around. Maybe a little bit of hood damage there on the 10 of A Kolano, but I'm not 100% certain. Ooh, and then Hillary Sanchez comes in and never slows down, and she makes some contact with her right front into the left front of the 21 of Colin Lindsay. But then again, this is a dirt track. These drivers, they're not expecting these trucks are going to come out in pristine mint condition the way they started. So some beating and banging here, but I don't think this is going to take anybody out of the race. Very minimal contact at most for most of these drivers involved. But obviously a tough break there for Andrew Rich, who was running up inside of the top 20 when he started this race. And now a driver that lost the points lead last time out at Kentucky very well might drop even further in the point standings after getting involved in the first caution of the day here at Springfield. I'm expecting we're going to get the 1 to green signal this time and probably be back racing on lap 6 of 30, so we'll be about a fifth of the way through this race. J Galloway out in front, Gatlin Downey in second, Elijah Gordon third. Top 3 have yet to go to victory lane this season. Then you got Henry Williams there in 4th, his teammate Wyatt Walker in 5th, as we are indeed going green next time. C Tsang is up in 6th. A Garcia, who started on the pole, back in 7th now. 8th place is M Saatchi. In 9th place, Tony Green. And Bobby Fraser will complete the top 10. Look down at the bottom of the list, see if anybody's out of the race. No, as a matter of fact, I don't think anybody even came to pit road of those drivers that got involved in the wreck, like Miller and Sanchez, Winkle, Turner, Stapleton, Lindsay, and Rich. They all stayed out. So I think I was pretty correct in my assumption that any contact, any damage they got was minimal. Apparently the wheel wells around the tires, those fenders, all good, so there wouldn't be any tire rubs. So everybody is going to take the green flag here for this restart. That took the green flag to start this race. Now the interesting thing is we had a double file start to this race. That's why they were so anxious, I think, to go 3 wide in some places of the field 4 wide. Now we're in a single file restart. How many laps are going to take us for us to maybe get back to 3 wide battles once again, or will we settle it out to maybe double file racing through the field? We'll have to wait and see. Jake Galloway, boy, he timed that green flag perfectly. He's going to open up a little bit of distance between himself and this battle for second. Gatlin Downey was the one caught napping. He's going to lose second to Elijah Gordon. Now the battle's going to be for third. Wyatt Walker to the inside of Gatlin Downey as Caitlin Tsang Dodge right there in 5th. Whoa! Caitlin drifted up the track and got into the left rear of Downey's 58. Hang on to it though, as now the battle might be brewing for second. Well, it's going to have to wait because the caution flag is out once more. Only 7 laps in and already our second caution of the day. I believe the pace car is picking them up here into turn 3. It is indeed. Let's see who's involved in this one. And it looks like maybe again second wreck for the 73 of Hillary Sanchez. Don't see anybody else with damage, although it's very hard to see anything with the dust that's kicked up there on the back straightaway. It looks like it might have just been the 73. And I'm a little surprised they would throw a caution for a solo truck spin if indeed that was what it was, especially with the fact Sanchez was running near the rear of the field. But who knows, maybe there were some extenuating circumstances as to why they had to throw the yellow. And of course, Jake Galloway probably not too disappointed because every lap he leads under caution is one less lap he has to defend the lead under green. However, he did have a pretty sizable lead before that caution came out, so maybe a little bit of mixed emotions there in seeing that yellow flag fly. Let's see what brought out this caution. Second time today. Yeah, personally myself, I don't see the reason why this caution needed to fly, but they're 4 wide here. That's A Kolano on the outside, right underneath him, Hillary Sanchez. Below her, teammate Joshua Ciculli, and below them is Zach Winkle. And then you just see the contact. I don't know if the 73 made previous contact with the 10, sent her down into Ciculli's 17, or if Ciculli just got her in the left rear quarter panel and hooked her around. But here's the thing that I don't understand. Is at the rear of the field, the leaders are over in turn 4, so they're not going to be coming into view anytime soon with that 73. Why the caution needed a wave right there, I really don't know. Maybe it's because the 73 kind of came to a stop, so they had to throw it, but it doesn't make any sense to me why the caution needed to come out for a car at the very back of the field and nowhere in sight of the leaders, spinning around, bringing out that yellow flag. But it bunches them back up. Let's see if we can get into a long green flag run. But right now, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. The caution flag is waved already twice in our first 10 laps of the race here today. Well, same song, second chorus. Green flag set to come back out with all 42 trucks still running. And the top 10 looks a little bit different than it did when we went back green the last restart. J Galloway still out in front, Elijah Gordon now in second. Wyatt Walker third, fourth, C Tsang and Gatlin Downey fell from second to fifth on that last restart. J Galloway trying to get his first career Coors Light Truck Series win, trying to get the 11 team their first win, as Ryan Brommer drove that car last year, failed to get it into victory lane. Flag back in the air as a couple of blue ovals, 1-2 here, and Elijah Gordon wants to be P1. To the inside comes the target Ford. Swigly Motorsports versus Smart Motorsports, and for the moment give the advantage to the 11 off of turn 2. Elijah's going to try it again. Drives it down to the inside. That truck's been really good on the initial restarts, picking up a lot of positions, but not strong enough to get the run off of the corner on that inside line to take the top position from J Galloway. Going to try again, and I can't help but think about Elijah Gordon's past. The one season that really stands out to me was the Pizza Hut X Series back in season 1. I think it was season 1, either season 1 or season 2, when Elijah Gordon drove the number 2 car. And Elijah Gordon had such a struggling year, was dead last in the points, that they actually released him from his contract, signed Zach Rogers, and Zach Rogers ended up putting the 2 car in victory lane his third start. So it was just such a struggling year for Elijah Gordon, and he just took the lead from Jake Galloway, and he almost just took a spin off turn 4 because Galloway got really close to his rear bumper. I'll tell you who I'm watching coming through the field there, and that's at number 4, who's up to 5th right now, Tony Green. He's really good at these dirt tracks. We mentioned that he won one of the heat races last year at DuQuoin. That was his second win of the season. And Tony Green was also a playoff contender last year, trying to make his way into the playoffs this year. Battle for the lead is on. Dodging C Tsang to the inside of the Ford of Elijah Gordon. Here comes the Chevy of Wyatt Walker in the 13. And it's amazing what a win will do for a team's momentum. You can just barely see him back there in 6th place. That's last week's winner from Kentucky, J.J. Roberts, who had that great fuel strategy, got the caution when he needed it most in order to cycle around as the race leader after the green flag pit stops, and took his first checkered flag of his career. Good news at the front of the field, C Tsang leading, but not for her teammate Hillary Sanchez, who has just come off pit road and now will be at least 1 lap down, maybe 2. Yeah, looks like it's going to be 1 lap down for the 73 of Hillary Sanchez. So you got a WF9 Motorsports truck out in front, and you got one at the rear, and there's another truck that just came off pit road. Second in the points, Fury Gamington in the 47. I don't know if that was a regularly scheduled stop for him or not, unless these drivers are having to make some green flag pit stops here that I don't know about. I thought they'd be good to go on fuel. Then again, maybe I'm wrong. Battle for the lead. Wyatt Walker with a little bit of a chrome horn there on C Tsang. Drag race. It's Walker by a splitter, and he'll have the inside advantage going here into turn 1. Another driver that's won previously this season, Alex Tanker, who comes into this race 8th in the point standings. He's now cracked the top 10. There he is, just ahead of Elijah Gordon. Last time by was scored in 10th place. I believe that's currently where he runs. No, actually, I think he's in 9th. I think he just took 9th place away. No, he's up to 8th, sorry. He just got by J.J. Roberts and Elijah Gordon, and the caution flag is out again. Well, at least we got a green flag running, but the yellow flag waves once more. And, and this time we've got Wyatt Walker out in front showing the way in the 13. Now here's my question. We saw Fury Gamington and Hillary Sanchez on pit road. We know that they both got involved in the first caution. Sanchez was in the second caution. But were those regularly scheduled green flag pit stops? Might have been, because here comes the rest of the field here under this caution. They're coming to pit lane. So apparently the field couldn't make it on fuel, and that's one of the Climber Tech Motorsports cars on pit road. I couldn't tell though if that was, I don't know if that was the 85 of Jake Moss or not. And there's also the 95 of Bobby Fraser, who came into this race 6th in the point standings. He's on pit road, and if that is Jake Moss, that's 10th in the standings on pit lane. So the caution's out once again, and it looks like Wyatt Walker is going to lose a lot of spots. There's some drivers that have already beaten him off pit road, including J Galloway, Tony Green, and Andrew Miller must have made a pit stop under that green flag run, the Daytona winner, because now he's a lap down along with Sanchez and Gamington. They'll be back on the tail end of the lead lap now, I think. But Tony Green is going to be the race leader when we go back to racing over Jake Galloway, T Handley, and H Alonso. That's going to be at least the top 4 when the green flag flies once again. We'll see what happened to bring out our 3rd caution of the day here at Springfield. Another 4-wide situation, although it wasn't 4 wide in the entrance of the corner. Bobby Fraser to the inside of A Garcia. Here comes Isaac Nicholls in the 52. Austin Kolano to the inside of him. And then it culminates into a 4-wide situation heading into the center of the corner of turns 1 and 2. Nicholls going to drive it really deep, gets back to the throttle, up the track into Bobby Fraser, sends Fraser up into pole sitter Ace Garcia. Garcia with some pretty extensive right side damage. Fraser spinning in front of the field, and it is indeed going to be the 85 of Jake Moss you see there on that inside line going full speed, hoping he's going to get through. 95 slides down right in front of him, and a hard shot right there for both the 95 of Fraser and the 85 of Jake Moss. And that took both of these drivers out of the race, I believe. And back there as well, Charlie Buxton got involved. He ran into the back of Colin Lindsay, who was trying to slow down for the wreck. So Buxton, another driver, top 10 in points with some struggles here just past the midway point of this Springfield race. First retiree of the day after our 3rd caution. We'll have less than 10 laps to go when we go back green. Bobby Fraser out of the race. 1 lap down, Jake Moss. You see just ahead of the race leader, Tony Green, are Hillary Sanchez, Fury Gamington, and Andrew Miller. They are 38th, 39th, and 40th on the tail end of the lead lap. But they may have been able to pass the leader when the leaders came to pit road, but they did not get to pass the pace truck. So they will restart ahead of race leader Tony Green. Jake Galloway there in 2nd. Galloway started a good portion of this race out in front. Would love to finish out in front. 3rd place, T Handley. How about that dodge? We'll see what he can do in the closing stages here. H Alonso 4th. Mark Saatchi is up in 5th. 6th place is Matt Haas. 7th, Wyatt Walker. 8th at this point in time is, his green flag is out. 8th place is, I'm failing in remembering the name, doggone it. Bouchard, that's who it is. And then you got Roger Ray and Vince Almriego. They were the top 10. Already, Andrew Miller and Fury Gamington being put back a lap down. Whoa, they were leaning on each other back there with the 23 and the 47. Tony Green managed to get out in front. Battle for 2nd between a couple of rookies. Handley in the 07, Galloway in the 11. Handley will take the spot as Tony Green continues to lead. Going to have 7 laps to go when we hit the stripe next time by. Tony Green doesn't seem all that anxious to try and pass the 73, but he might want to be, because here comes the 07 of Handley. Big run out of 4, and T Handley might try the bottom here in turn 1. Here he comes, going to get the spot, slides by. Didn't slide up to try and get in front of Tony Green, as Green now battling with the lap car of Andrew Miller. Miller, I think, is trying to get to the front to help his teammate Wyatt Walker find a path to the lead. That didn't work out so well, as now H Alonso is going to move to third place. Handley now to the inside of Hillary Sanchez, trying to put her a lap down. Sanchez going to continue to battle as H Alonso, two birds with one stone, passes the lap car of Miller, as well as second place at the time, Tony Green. And here comes the 38 with a big run. H Alonso wants more, thinks about going 3 wide into turn 3, has to back out of it as we got a slow car up ahead. That's Gatlin Downey in the 58, just ahead of the race leaders. And TJ Handley nearly wrecked, making contact possibly there with Hillary Sanchez. And H Alonso driving it deep into these corners. Gonna get to the inside maybe of Handley. He's there, I think. Might be to the left rear quarter panel. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle. Nope, not quite. Handley's going to clear him for the moment. Alonso drives it deep into the corner again, trying to let it drift off the corner and get up close to that left rear quarter panel with the 0-7. 4 laps to go here at Springfield. A couple of rookies duking it out. American Motorsports got their first win of the season with Alex Tanker back at Atlanta. H Alonso trying to get their second win in 3 races. Now going to get by the slower machine. Well, not really slower, but obviously a little bit off the pace there of Gatlin Downey, who started this race near the front of the field. And Alonso, for the moment, is scot-free as the battle side by side between a couple of lap-down machines for 37th, Miller and Downey. TJ Handley kind of boxed back here in second, Green in third, and Sebastian Kukulon now has moved up into the top 5. He's up to 4th with Vince Almariego in 5th. Sanchez hits pit road, will get out of the way of the leaders. But 2-lap trucks between Alonso and Handley with about 1.5 laps to go. It was, 4 weweeks ago? 3 weeks ago that Alex Tanker got his first win of his career in the 34. Now his teammate in the 38, H Alonso, trying to get himself his first win as he'll take the white flag here at Springfield. 4 more corners. We got some drivers on pit road. One of them looked like it was the Derek Hamill machine, and the other teammate out of American Motorsports. Sanchez leaving pit road. There's Erica Douglas just coming off pit lane. So some drivers couldn't make it on fuel, but the 38 obviously will be able to, as H Alonso will get his first career Coors Light Truck Series win. It takes place here at the Springfield Mile. That was Tyler Deaver right there, and the 9 coming off pit road. He couldn't make it on fuel. I'm pretty certain I saw the 32 of Derek Hamill on the pit lane. And I'm sure there were some others as well, which kind of surprised me. How were they so short on fuel when everybody came to pit road under that last caution? I don't understand that. But H Alonso, he just ran away with this one. He had 2 lap trucks between himself and second place finisher TJ Handley. Nothing Handley could do to even get up there remotely to have a shot at trying to take this victory. So in our 5th race of the season, we now have 5 different race winners. Right now, 5 of our 8 spots would be taken by former winners this year. And H Alonso, coming into this race, was really struggling in the point standings. This is his first top 10, first top 5, and of course first win, as he was 35th in the points coming into this race here today at the Springfield Mile. But he will take the victory. TJ Handley there in second. Sebastian Kukulon, who had a great outing at Kentucky last week, jumped up to 20th in points. He'll continue to climb through the standings as he finishes 3rd. Tony Green will end the day out in 4th, and Wyatt Walker will finish the top 5. J Galloway will finish 6th. Vince Almariego in 7th, so a couple of teammates there out of Srigley Motorsports. Then you got a couple of teammates behind them out of Smart Motorsports. Roger Ray 8th, Elijah Gordon 9th, and Michael Haas will complete the top 10. We saw Isaac Nicholls in a 4-wide situation earlier. He battles back for 11th. Julio Cesar in 12th. 13th for Caleb Farrell. Jesse Turner 14th. Preston Plord 15th. Rest of your top 20 were Daniel Bouchard, Caitlin Tsang, Nathan Ormond, Alex Tanker, and Colin Lindsay. And as you look down here towards the bottom of the list, you get an idea of the drivers that could not make it on fuel. Matt Haas apparently was one of those drivers on pit road. We know Erica Douglas and Tyler Deaver were as well. Nathan Stapleton, Derek Hamill, Mark Saatchi, Easton Barber, J.J. Roberts. Last week's winner was also apparently on pit road, along with Henry Williams and Jake Moss. So a number of drivers there could not make it on fuel, and I wouldn't be surprised if Gatlin Downey was also a driver that came to pit road, because we saw that he kind of got reeled in by the leaders there not too long after we went back green. So very interesting that the drivers had to make 2 stops. A number of these drivers had to make 2 stops in order to make it the rest of the way on fuel, when in all honesty that caution that came out around lap 17-18 probably should have been the only caution that they would have needed to get themselves to the end of the race. But then again, it's a dirt track. A lot of things are different than when we go to a regular track, so a lot of times we just can't really expect everything to go normally. But H Alonso was a very normal day for him, and a very good day as well, as he takes the victory here heading into our All-Star Race Weekend break. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race from Springfield. If you did enjoy this race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you full feature results. These are your rookie point standings, your overall point standings heading into our next Coors Light Truck Series race, which is going to be 2 weeks after All-Star Race Weekend, when these drivers will take to Michigan International Raceway. That should be a really fast-paced race. Should be a lot of 3-wide action, and who knows, maybe we'll get our 6th different winner of the season as the playoffs grid starts to get more and more congested with race winners this year. We will see you guys next time, though, as you've been watching Protecting the NNSCRA Off-Playing Racing at its best. Up next, Springfield Mile plays host to the Hershey's Cup Series. As you've been watching Protecting the NNSCRA Off-Playing Racing at its best, we'll see you guys next week, or at end of this week, I should say, as H Alonso takes career win number 1 at the Springfield Mile.